So in that very moment, all I remember feeling was an arm just shooting into the water, grabbing me by two arms, grabbing me by my arms and just throwing me towards the shore.
This is my opening. I am Victor Shadrach Natekwecho and welcome to the channel. Welcome to the first episode on Matters of Angel. I have a gentleman with me who had an encounter with angels and he's here to share his story. Welcome to the channel.
Thank you very much.
And your angelic experience. Before we go ahead,
Okay.
Tell us who you are.
Well, my name is Courage Agbebiel. I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
I'm the senior associate pastor of Hope Waves Ministries International. And I'm a poet.
Okay.
I write as well. And I'm also a swim instructor with SwimTech. I also run a YouTube page,
Okay.
Official Pastor Courage, where I share. I started it not long ago, about 2 months ago, where I share a psalm a day to encourage people to live a more productive life. Some to help them to just something to help them focus their attention on God whilst they go through the day. So that's just a little about me.
A psalm a day.
Yeah, psalm a day.
So just check it out. Official Pastor Courage, and just get to listen to his piece. If you have not subscribed to his channel, please subscribe. Put the link in the description section. Now tell us what happened.
Okay, so this experience happened somewhere in 2003.
You had an encounter with an
Yes,
angel.
I had an
Did
encounter.
you see the angel?
I didn't see the angel.
Okay.
But I felt the angel's grip.
The touch of okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this incident happened in 2003. I was in JSS2 by then.
Okay.
I didn't grow up, so there's a little background to the story.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with my dad. I didn't grow up knowing my dad.
Okay.
So I grew up with my grandmom and my granddad,
Okay.
thinking they were
your
my
parents.
biological parents.
Wow.
So somewhere 2003, a call came that my dad was coming
Hey.
from Nigeria.
Wow.
Apparently my dad had lived in Nigeria all this while.
How old were you then?
I was around 13 going on 14. So a call came that my dad was coming back from Nigeria, so he wanted to meet all his children.
Okay. Hey, all his children. How many children?
I think my dad has about, if the last, we are more, let me just approximate it, we are more than 15.
Wow. Hey, whoa! That must have done a very good job.
I always make the joke that God said we should replenish. So my dad took that literally. Yeah. So he's doing the work of God.
I know, right?
He's doing the work of God. God said we should replenish and fill the earth. So
wow.
he's literally doing that. He's literally filling the earth, following the very first commandment of God to man.
I know, replenish the earth.
Replenish the earth.
Great.
So the call came through that my dad was coming. So all his children, those in Nigeria, those in Togo,
Wow.
those in Ghana, every one of them came. So we had to go meet my dad in my dad's hometown, which is Kita.
Keta or Keta.
Kita.
Okay.
It's called Kita. So
it's not Keta.
It's not. If you want to go the pure way, then you can say Eketa.
Okay.
Which literally means the top of a sand or on top of a sand.
Okay. Okay.
So we had to go meet my dad there. So all his children came from Nigeria. All his children in Nigeria came down before him.
Yeah.
So they spent about a week with us in Medina, where I stay in Medina. We all stayed in the same house for 1 week. Then we all had to go to Kita to go and meet my dad.
Yeah.
So we went to Kita. On the third day, my cousins and my siblings, those from Nigeria, decided to go to the beach. So and the funny thing is, when we went to Kita, they didn't want the younger ones amongst us to go out.
Yeah.
It was only the older children that were going out hitting the town.
Okay.
The younger ones were expected to stay in the house.
Were young then.
Yeah,
They were older.
They were older, so they were about 18 going on 19. So they were older, so they expected. So they had the freedom to roam about the town, but we the kids were required to stay home, mostly to help around with the house chores.
Yeah.
So on the third day of us being there, they decided to go to the beach. So that day, I don't know what came over them, but they decided to include all the children.
Wow.
For us all to go to the beach. So we went to the beach and they entered the sea. So I saw my cousins and my older siblings moving to the deeper part of the sea, and I said, "Oh."
And you feel they could swim?
Yeah, I feel so. I thought, "Oh, I wanted to show what the accounts of Cratchit powers." I wanted to go to where they were. So the moment I entered into the sea,
did you know how to swim?
I didn't know how to swim.
Wow.
What
were you doing? What came into your mind?
I don't know. I just thought I could just walk in
and walk out,
and just go to where they are and walk out. I would say at that point I wasn't really thinking. All I wanted to do was go to where they were. So the moment I entered the sea, I started walking. Mm-hmm. Then out of nowhere, a very huge wave just came and knocked me down.
Wow.
The moment the wave knocked me down, I just sank to the bottom.
Wow.
Sank to the bottom, and I was on my knees. And
was it deep?
It was very deep.
Wow.
I just sank to the bottom of the sea, and I could just hear the waves washing over me. They were just washing over my head, and I just froze.
Wow.
Right there in the water, I just froze.
You didn't know how to hold your breath.
I don't know how I was able to hold my breath because, like, nothing. It was as if I was dead.
Wow.
At that very moment, I just froze, and I just remember being at the bottom of the sea and saying to myself, "Charlie, I'm dying today. Today I will die."
Yeah.
So in that very moment, all I remember feeling was an arm just shooting into the water, grabbing me by two arms, grabbing me by my arms and just throwing me towards the shore. So
did you get to the shore?
I got to the shore.
Okay.
I don't know how I got to the shore. I don't know what happened. All I know was a hand held me and just pushed me. So the moment I got to the shore, I turned around to look at who it was that saved me. I turned around, there was no one.
Wow.
And where my cousins were, at that point, where they were, was far from where I was. And none of them knew what had happened. I just got out of the sea and I just went to sit on the sand.
Nobody sent you?
No one sent me. I sent myself. So I just decided to go and sit
You said you're going to walk in and walk out.
I just went to sit on the sand dune quietly and just watch them do whatever they wanted to do. They just came out and we went home. I never told any one of them what had happened. None of them knew that I had that experience. So it was later that I came to realize that it wasn't a man that saved me. Because if it was a man that saved me, he would have raised an alarm for them to know that everybody's attention would have come there.
Exactly.
Because none of them knew what was happening to me at that very moment. None of them said anything to me to let me know that they knew what had happened.
I mean, I don't know the length from the shore to where you were. I'm unable. I can't tell right now, but from what you are just saying, if it was a man who picked you from where he picked you and threw you to the shore, I'm not sure a human hand would have been able to throw me that strong. To put you there.
So I just got to the shore and later in life, that's when I came to experience. I came to the understanding that it was an angel that saved me that day.
Wow.
Either than that day would have been my last day on earth, because I didn't have anyone around at that time. I didn't have anyone around at that time. There was no one. I was alone in that moment, and the only thing I remember thinking in my head was my grandmom. What were they going to tell my grandmom had happened to me? Because at that point, I knew my grandmom. I was the only person close to my grandmom.
So, I mean, because then your father wasn't there. You thought she was your mother.
So the only thought that was in my head was, what were they going to tell my grandmama had happened to me? And the scary thing is, before that time, I had lost a cousin also to the sea.
Wow.
He had gone out with his friend. He was going to watch this artist. He's now an evangelist, Lord Kenya.
Oh, okay.
He was performing at Labadi. So he had gone there to... So instead of them paying for the ticket, they decided to use the lagoon.
Swimming?
They didn't swim. You see, sometimes the lagoon dries up when it's low tide. The lagoon, so they decide to walk on the sand dune. But unfortunately for them, the water came in. At that moment, they decided to walk in, and he was the only. I think there were about 6 of them. He was the only one that the water took. Wow. So, at that moment, I was just thinking, what are they going to tell my grandma had happened to me? Because none of them saw me enter the water.
None of them saw you out either.
Wow. So what would they tell my grandma? We went to the beach and Carrie just disappeared. That would have been the story. I see it on television with people running into the sea and jumping. So I thought, oh, is that easy? You just run in and come out. But at the end of the day, I just realized it's God that, it was an angel of the Lord that really rescued me that day. And I would say I'm eternally grateful to God for saving me that day, because I even thinking about it right now is...
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's bringing back...
I can imagine.
Some a little bit of emotion.
So I would say that was really a touch by an angel.
It was.
Wow.
It was.
Wow.
That day an angel touched me.
Wow. Angels save. Yeah. That's their purpose.
That's their purpose.
That's their ministry in our lives. Thanks for being on Kwacho Global.
Thank you very much for having me.
Sharing your story with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Appreciate it.
I'm grateful.